You are a minority student, anxious to know if you have been accepted into your dream school. This one simple moment is going to give insight on what your future might be like for the next 4 years. You've worked your entire high school career for this moment. The late nights working on AP homework, spreading yourself thin in order to be a part of every extracurricular program possible. The early mornings and no lunch breaks to have a packed schedule. This answer will show if it was all worth it or not. Finally, you open the envelope to see that you have been accepted into your dream school, Ithaca College.
I'm Diamond, I'm a Black woman, and I'm a senior TVR major.
My name is Kayla Brathwaite, and I identify as Black, clearly. No, I identify as Black. I am class of 2019, and my major is Communications, Management, and Design.
My name is Stephanie Cordova Rodriguez. I am a senior television radio major. I'm Latina and Mexican, basically.
I'm Angel, I'm brown, I am a CMD major, and I'm class of 2021.
Hi, my name is Aaliyah Drew. I am a Black woman in the Communication Management Design major with a concentration in design, and I am in the class of 2020.
From young, I always wanted to work within the entertainment business because I always liked pop culture growing up and reality TV. So when it came time to apply for school and to know what I wanted to do going forward, that just made the most sense to go into entertainment TV. And out of all 14 schools I applied to, Ithaca College was the only school that had TVR or television as a major. So I ended up here.
So when I was looking for schools, I was trying to find a school that, to be honest, it was a couple of things. The main thing was just whichever school would give me the most financial aid, and that ended up being Ithaca College. And even then, it's not a lot, but they did what they had to do a little bit. Other than that, I was looking for schools that were good with the LGBTQ+ community. So Ithaca College just popped up as one of the top ones for that.
We came into Ithaca during a time when there was the whole POC at IC thing going on. So it was just a big wake-up call, I think, to everyone that came in that year, because we realized how much everything that so we had been told this whole story oh yeah, I think it's so great, it's diverse and this and the third, and we realized a little bit we saw it when we got here that it wasn't, and then that was just bam, you're really off.
Yeah, so it was definitely a lot, especially when entering a campus that already has really intense racial tensions that you can feel in all aspects, whether that's just walking across campus or on social media. There used to be this app called Yik Yak, and then there was some threats to students of color, especially if they were attempting to host a protest during Cortica and ruining it for other white students on campus. Then it was we're gonna fight, or anything like that. It was just very alarming, and I had a very real sense of unsafety on this campus. And even within every moment where professors would engage in conversations around POC at IC or no confidence in Tom Roshan, it was just a very polarizing statement. So many students would feel one way or another, and I feel that oftentimes people would ask me, Kayla, what do you think? Or why is this? Or why is that? And I'm I just got here, yo. I don't know what's going on either. Gratefully, that kind of propelled me to be more of like a leader within the community, especially for other first-year students at the time that didn't really know what was going on, but giving them the agency to recognize that, you know, this is affecting you in a way that you may not quite understand yet, but it's really something that's incredibly important, especially in the ways that Tom Roshan should be communicating specifically to students of color and providing a space for them as well on this campus.
My first year, I had like a group of friends who weren't exactly the best for me, I would say. There's a couple of people who are still really tight with me, like I'm still cool with them, but there were just some that, I don't know, it just really didn't work out. Like I feel like being a person of color at a predominantly white institution, I was surrounded by so many white people that I thought, okay, let me just become friends with, you know, this big group of white people and like I'll be accepted and I'll have an easy time here. And for a while, like, yeah, it was fun. Like they accepted me, whatever. I felt like at home. But after a while, it's just like, and I'm not saying white people can't understand race problems, things like that, but after a while, you start to hear certain things that they say, and you're just like, hold on, like, did you really just say that?
My freshman year, some of my friends and I were gonna watch a soccer game in the lounge. We were living in terraces. And my friend got there before me, and I was like, yo, just hold it down, make sure that we're good. I'm gonna get some food. So I get there, and we're all, like, we're watching the game. It was a Mexico game. I forgot who they were playing against, but so we're all, like, just there chilling, minding our business. And one of the boys who lives on my floor comes in, and he was like, oh, can I change the channel? And we were just like, we're watching the game. And he's like, oh, but I want to watch the game too. And we were just like, we were here first. And he's like, oh, you don't understand, it's the Mets. They haven't been doing good in a while. But we were like, okay, that is irrelevant to us. Like, we were here first. We want to watch this game. And then he was like, oh, well, you don't get a say because you're Mexican and I'm white, and we are in the U.S. We're in Ithaca, which is a PWI and a PWI town, and so I get a say. You don't get to say what it goes. And yeah, it was a lot. I was just shocked that he even said that to me. And I went off on him. I was like, you don't get to tell me what the fuck I'm to do or not, because I have just as much of a right to be here as you do.
Great, let's just take a second to look at my face right now. I get every Friday, every single fucking Friday, I shave, I exfoliate, and I get level 3 spray tan clear. So that while the hours pass by, I get darker and darker, and not in 30 seconds, I look like a fucking nigger. Sorry.
That kind of video was just really astonishing to me because it just left me with a lot of questions of why she's even getting a spray tan, why she's referring to herself as that, and her apologizing in the video as soon as she's saying it, even though she's trying to claim that, like, you know it's offensive, but you're still posting it on social media. And just the school's reaction to the video, they sent out an email saying that, like, they don't, zero tolerance, or whatever kind of spiel, but she's still here walking the campus just fine. It's things like that that just lets you know that even though they try to, like, put up a front that they care, they really don't.
So I had an experience in class very recently that the easiest way to explain it is, like, there's 2 sections of this course, a 9 a.m. and a 10 a.m. I am in the 9 a.m. section, and some other friends of mine are in the 10 a.m. section. I was told that in the 10 a.m. section, I was confused for another black woman in the class. Mind you, we look nothing alike at all in terms of, like, personality, in terms of, like, physical appearance, and, like, it's just like, what? So we were confused by that professor, and when one of my other friends was like, oh, no, I think you have that mixed up. You're not talking about the correct people. They were like, oh, potato, potato, or tomato, tomato. Like, just completely downplaying that it doesn't, that our specific identities doesn't matter. It's like, oh, it's just another strong, influential black girl that, you know, talks a lot in my classes. It doesn't matter, like, who specifically they are.
In my PR class, I am one of 2 women of color in the class, and we were talking about how the PR industry went from being predominantly male dominated to being female dominated, and only talked about diversity for about like 30 seconds. But at the end of the video, we broke up into our tables to do like a little discussion. And me and the only other woman of color in the class were sitting at the same table. And the entire time we're having a discussion with our table, everyone was referring to people of color as either they or colored people. And it was really eye-opening. It's not the first time, but it was just another like, here we go, because it's just something that that if you speak up, they're just gonna look at you funny because it's 2 to 25 other people in the class. And I remember me and my friend, we were just like kind of just like speechless, you know what I mean? And our professor came up to us afterwards, and she was like, hey, like, I just wanted to apologize because, like, I remember when I came into the PR industry and I was a woman and everybody else I worked with was a man, and it was really crappy, and I felt really outed and, like, just out of place and hopeless was the word that she used. And then she told us, and I just hope that you don't feel that same way because, like, I know how that would feel. And I didn't really say anything, but my friend just kind of looked at her and was like, I mean, it's not the same thing, but thanks, I guess.
The day after Trump was elected, so sophomore year, like, that was sophomore year, yeah, my roommate and I had like a little whiteboard on our door, and we would just like write inspirational quotes every day. And then the day after Trump was elected, we put up an Obama quote. And so we woke up the next morning to like someone had like written on our board, "Trump that bitch." Okay, so I had one professor one time. So it was like a script writing class. And my script was about an immigrant family, and like some like involves like experiences like from like my family, like my own life, like crossing the border, just like immigration encounters, things like that. And homeboy, when he read my script, he wanted to call me over and he was like, "You need to rewrite this." And I was like, "Why?" He's just like, "It's unrealistic. These things don't happen." He's like, "You're telling a lot of lies in this script, so you need to fact check and then come back to me." I was like, "How are you gonna tell me that my fucking life story is not real?" Like, who? And he really made me change the entire script. Like, he was not having it. And I needed the class for my major requirement, so I was like, well, it is what it is.
Some things I would love to see change on this campus in regards to POC students. I would love to see more activities and clubs geared to us within the Park School, even though they give us ICTV and WICB. I just feel like there needs to be more centered clubs and groups for POC in general. It wasn't just my experience, it was other POC students' experience of feeling like left out or excluded. So I feel like it's really important to give us the space for POC students to create and to just really make our own things and to thrive in them as well.
At the end of the day, I just hope that in the future when other people of color and kids of color come to school, not even this school, just colleges in general, that they start to feel welcomed and like they can use their voice and that they can be free and like be who they are and not have to tone themselves down, because that's one of the biggest things in college that I've come to understand is that there are situations where I have to code switch myself, where I have to watch the way I'm talking, where I have to watch how loud I'm being, because I don't want to have that narrative of being like, oh, like the loud brown girl who da da da, you know? So I guess I just really hope one day it sounds so cheesy, but that's just, everyone feels good.